The Oncoming Storm by Whiskey Mike 1. Chapter 10. Exodus. With no hesitation I reached down for the blaster. My hoof went through the holding compartment and it buzzed into life. It was more of a glove than a gun, and Celestia just laughed. Go ahead. Shoot. General Sparkle just reversed the spell. That moment the purple unicorn landed next to Celestia. Wings on a unicorn? That's not possible, I said. It is, with the right amount of powerful magic, said Celestia. Hello, Whirlwind. Twilight? It was a standoff, me, Celestia and Twilight. A moment of rage came over me. I aimed the blaster at Celestia's face, and the armour on her body would have protected her from any blast from a gun or a stab from a stone sword. Even if I fired, Twilight would bring Celestia back to consciousness in a second. There was no point, so I lowered my weapon. Instantly, Twilight's horn glowed, and my blaster was ripped from my hoof and brought sharply to my face. I fell to the floor in a daze. Oh, what's this? Twilight used her magic to pick up the black box. It's the black box from my aircraft. On it you will find evidence of my innocence, that I acted accordingly to Protocol 6 of the Solar Empire. Oh, I see. Before the last words from her lips became an echo, the black box was crushed in front of me by Twilight's magic. I somehow expected that to happen, but I had to try. Years of trying to keep that damn thing safe, and now it was crushed on the white marble floor. Twilight's hoof pressed down on my throat. Her face was now an inch from mine, her eyes full of rage and spite. Rainbow Dash was a good friend of mine, and you hurt her! Enough, Twilight. You will get your revenge soon, said Celestia. Twilight reluctantly took her hoof off my throat, and I gasped for breath, and then I was kicked back into the group of delegates, and the mayor and Caramel helped me up. I'm so sorry, Whirlwind. Don't be, Mayor. Guards now circled us, their swords at the ready. One slash of a stun sword could make any limb go numb, but a stab would knock a pony out forever, or until the spell was reversed by the unicorn that created the spell, which, of course, was Twilight. For treason and harbouring a fugitive, I, Princess Celestia, banish the whole of the Republic of Equestria forever! Where to? Said Caramel. The moon! We all gasped. Celestia's horn glowed yellow, and a ball of light started to form above her head. The mare clutched my hoof hard, and we all braced ourselves for the inevitable. Wait! I looked up. The third pony that was with Celestia on the podium swooped down and landed between Celestia and myself. Sister, I beg you to see reason. The moon is a harsh and unforgiving place. Furthermore, there is no air on the moon. They will die within seconds. So be it. Now stand aside, sister. No! Celestia's horn glow faded. She was stunned at what her sister had just said. So was I. But the thought of Celestia wanting us dead sent a cold shiver down my spine and up my wings. No? Yes, my sister. Our mother created the First Order, and we are bound to obey it. Do you want hell to rise from the ground and engulf the world in fire for the rest of time? Do not question my will, little sister. Now stand aside, or I'll be forced to banish you again. Luna looked at her sister, and then turned to us and smiled. Princess, behind you! I shouted, and Celestia had cast the spell. When Luna had her back turned, the golden bolt shot towards Luna, and Luna's eyes glowed white, and her horn glowed black. She turned towards her sister and fired a black bolt of magic into her sister's spell. The two were locked in a battle of magic. One side of the room glowed yellow, and the other was encased in a shadow. By now all the ponies on the stand had fled. Luna was winning the battle. Guards! Shouted Celestia. The soldiers guarding us drew their swords. I reacted. I grabbed the guard closest to me, and I disarmed him of his sword and used it on him. He fell to the floor paralysed, and the look of shock on his face was humorous. Caramel had the same idea as me. Already there were two guards on the floor. The last guard charged towards me using his magic to hold his sword. He lunged at me with the golden sword. I flew up into the air, landed on top of him, and sank my sword into his back. No blood, no wound, no death, just temporary paralysis. Sometimes magic can be a good weapon. Celestia was still losing the battle. More guards had now arrived, so we carried on fighting them off. "Twilight!" Celestia shouted. I turned to see Twilight's horn glow and shoot a bolt into Luna's. 2 against 1 isn't fair. I ran towards Twilight, sword in my mouth, enabling me to run faster. Luna was in trouble, and I heard Luna scream. "Trixie!" A puff of blue smoke appeared to the right of Luna, and a pony emerged. She immediately engaged Twilight's spell with her own, forcing Twilight's spell out of Luna's and Celestia's. Now there were 2 battles. "Trixie, it's been a while." "Not long enough, Twilight." Soldiers poured into the room. Caramel and I were fighting them off. So were the other members of the ROE, using whatever they could. We had to end this now. It wouldn't be long until the Royal Guard showed up, and it would all be over. Luna was faltering. "You see, Luna, I was always more powerful than you." Celestia's beam inched closer and closer to Luna. Sweat was pouring down her face. Even I could see she was not going to win. The whole room was engulfed in light as Celestia's beam hit Luna.